Our next journey, as we consider the shrines of Our Lady, takes us across the Channel to an area of France in the Pyrenees. We bring ourselves to a consideration of the shrine of Lourdes. This is one which is very well known to us. From the earliest days of the apparitions and the finding of the spring in the second half of the 19th century, at the time of the formal definition of the dogma of the Immaculate Conception, we see a young, ill-educated but innocent girl to whom Our Lady appears. I am the Immaculate Conception. With all the difficulties that ensued, let us not forget that France, like many other countries, has been undermined and the faith, the church, attacked by secular Freemasonic governments. Much was done to intimidate Bernadette, to try and persuade her that she was mistaken, that it was a complete hoax. And yet we have seen in the decades that followed a shrine established, hordes, huge crowds of people coming to pay homage to Our Lady, and very often with a view to receiving some form of healing, physical, mental, spiritual. It is still within living memory of a time when the crutches and the signs of physical disability were left at the grotto. Those who had received a miracle, those who had been cured, expressing their thanks, being a proof of the wonder of God's love in our world here and now. Our Lady asked that processions be made, and one of the great moments of the Lourdes experience is the torchlight procession. Our Lady appeared to someone simple, but who nonetheless had a deep faith. And it is good for us to consider that just as the scriptures tell us, the wisdom of the great, of the clever, is very often overturned by the action of God. In St. Paul's writings we learn that it is not in sophisticated rhetoric, it is not in difficult and overwhelming language that people are brought to Christ. Those who are feeble, those who are weak, those who do not seem to count for a great deal in the eyes of the world, they are the ones who are closest to God. They are the ones whose relationship with the Almighty is such that they are very often granted gifts of a spiritual nature that express the love of God not only for themselves but also for all mankind. Private revelation is first and foremost for the individual who receives it. But that is not to say that we, as a Catholic people throughout the world, cannot learn from it. Our Lady's message to Bernadette was very simple, and eventually the authorities, the government having to give in because of the force of the people, together with the ecclesiastical authorities, who ultimately considered this revelation, this manifestation of Our Lady to be authentic. It should help us to realize that Our Lady works in each time and each place, and with faith we should approach her with confidence and with trust. Like a loving mother for her children, she wishes us to grow in faith, hope and charity, and to bring us all that is necessary for our welfare and ultimately assist us on our journey to paradise.